All right, hello and welcome back. So, we're still in the 3.23.1 patch cycle, but 3.24, which is a rebranding of 3.23.2, is coming very soon. In fact, it is an Evocati test right now. Now, I'm not a part of Evocati, so I can't comment on how those are going, but the streamers and YouTubers that I watch have been able to discuss it. For those who don't know, CIG used to have an NDA for the streamers and YouTubers that would prevent them from talking about, or anyone who's a part of Evocati in that matter, whether they're a streamer, YouTuber or not, from publicly basically talking about it. They've since loosened that because they want to get more kind of openness and transparency in the process, but they can't show anything because, of course, the Evocati builds tend to be, very early state, don't necessarily have final art applied. A good example is I was watching Board Gamer, and he discussed that when he went through a jump point during their Pyro playtest where they were doing server meshing way back when, and they were jumping between the two. He mentioned that there was not the final graphics and art that was surrounding it. It was kind of lackluster, and that's not what they want to kind of showcase. But this game is very beautiful when everything is working, so that's why they like when they have YouTubers and streamers. But that's coming, in the not too distant future. I don't have an exact timeline, but I suspect early in July here. Because for those who are watching this in the future, this is currently June 26th, so we're right on the heels there. And we'll turn that because we're fighting in chat. Don't need to see that. So, in this cycle, though, we had just completed the Xeno Threat. That's the Phase 6 of the Overdrive initiative. That ended yesterday at 8 p.m., I think. So I hope you had an opportunity to get involved in the Xeno Threat mission and Overdrive as a whole. It was a lot of fun, in my opinion. I really enjoyed it. I look forward to, in the future, having more of those kind of multi-tiered missions. Completing Overdrive Phases 1 through 5 is how I ended up getting the F7A Mark II, the number one ship that I tend to use. And the Overdrive initiative as a whole, if you completed the weekend event, which is a two-part event where you had to help collect supplies from a kind of nebula and asteroid field near the Pyro Jumpgate, and then the Phase 2 was, once those supplies were delivered and there was enough of them, the Javelin would go in and start duking out with Xeno Threat, and there would be Xeno Threat interest. Now, my wife and I did play it, and it was awful as far as performance goes. The missions were really fun. It was really cool. Combat was good when the servers were working, but you would quantum in, and as you saw there, the second I came out of quantum, I could immediately start, flying around, no problem. In that case, you'd literally be stuck there for 30 seconds. Couldn't do anything. Upwards of a minute sometimes, you'd just be stuck there. Nothing would work. And then sometimes you'd quantum in, and you'd start drifting, and you had no control. But you would end up drifting, so we ended up dying 3 times just trying to get involved in Xeno Threat, because we would quantum in and then we would drift into an asteroid field, or randomly something wouldn't work. And one time I was flying around, there was nothing around. It was exactly like this. I was just flying in the asteroid field and bam, I blew up. Nothing there. So super unpleasant. I managed to get Xeno Threat done the first time though. So when I first got in server, the first event for it was going on, which is the one where you actually go and grab the surprise, which is perfect, and then we finished that one pretty quick. We just acted as an escort and engaged enemy ships, and this ship as well as the Redeemer once this one blew up. And so I was lucky in that regard, but it was super janky and not a very enjoyable experience when it wasn't working. In fact, I made the declaration that I am not going to play this game until the next patch. I was quite frustrated, but I decided, hey, I got quite a bit of money from it. Let's just, keep playing. and how bad could it be, right? Like, just keep playing, and things will get better. And it did, actually. In fact, so even though that was the worst server performance I'd had in Star Citizen the entire time I've been playing, since 2014 and the beginnings of the Hangar module, um, and even through 3.18, those disasters, this was literally the worst server performance I had ever encountered. What was weird is, though, I didn't leave that server. I kept playing, and the server performance got better. Like, we'd still have a bit of a hang when we went in there, but it would only be, like, maybe 10 seconds, like 1,000, 2,000, like 10 proper seconds. Um, and then, it wouldn't be bad. Like, you'd actually be able to play. And the really cool thing is, the reason I really decided to stay on is I was contemplating it, and I was like, yeah, I'll make some money. But somebody actually offered. They were in an Idris, and they were all alone. They were just the pilot, and they wanted people to help crew them because all their friends had gotten off or what have you. So I said, absolutely. Like, I jumped at the opportunity because, for those who might not know, I purchased the Idris back in 2016, and I've been looking forward to flying it since then. So when they're like, or at least be a part of it, right? Like, other than just a static tour during Fleet Week, which thank you CIG for that, because that was also quite nice, and I am glad that I had that opportunity. But I wanted kind of more. I was maybe feeling greedy. So when the opportunity to serve on their ship came up, I jumped at it, and they picked me up. And I got into the front turret, which is the top one with the two size 7s, best seat in the house. And we ended up having fully crewed. So we had, which of course isn't that hard when you offer for people to get on and crew an Idris. And the guys that I was with were great. In fact, I've added them all on Discord, and I've added them all on the, friends list in Spectrum and, Star Citizen. So it ended up being a really positive evening. In fact, my greatest evening in gaming in my life. I've been playing since I was 2 years old. I was nigh 32 years ago. My mom got me my first system. I think it was like a Saga, and I've been playing ever since. And that was literally the single most greatest night of gaming that I've ever had. So I'm eternally grateful for them inviting me on. Great group of people, and further to that, more than just being a great group of people that I enjoyed playing with, it was a ship that I've been super excited to be in, fly, or be a part of in any such way since 2016. It was my first ship that I fell in love with when I saw the concepts, but I've owned one since 2016, and super happy to have been part of it. So the reason why the episode kind of started like this, with rather than me being at the main menu, is that I did actually start it as the main menu, but it's actually quite a bit later. It's 9:45 for me, and I, not gonna lie, I've been staying up late the last few days, a little sleep deprived, because for the Department of Justice roleplay community that we're, my wife and I are part of. What in the world? Okay, I'll bite. What the hell is that? It's a creature. Okay, total squirrel moment. I'll check out that in a second. I've never seen that before. I thought it was a helmet. Anyway, so we're part of the Department of Justice roleplay community, and there's a minimum amount of hours, and we've been super busy this month with, trying to get the channel uploads, with work coming to, ahead with the end of the school year, so like run rampant like all last week, and we were getting prepped for cable runs and replacement of access points because I work in the IT department. And this week, it's been every day, up and down ladders all day. And anyone who's worked on ladders up and down all day, it's actually like, it doesn't sound like that much, but it's quite demanding. You're up there, you ended up generally, especially if you're not on ladders all the time, you're a little bit more heightened as far as your adrenaline goes. You end up like kind of straining yourself a bit to hold still, so you're not like adjusting too much. You're holding your hand. You're usually obviously working with your hands above your head because you're in the ceiling. Like, it becomes quite a an event.
Yeah.
So when I get home, the last thing I've been wanting to do is any sort of activity, and because I'm also overweight and looking to get in shape, my wife and I this past Saturday started the workout routine. So for those who are curious what we're doing, and I'm probably going to butcher the name, but I'll try my best. It is the Canadian Armed Forces pre-basic military training physical fitness preparation. It's a super long title, but essentially, because I wanted to kind of capture the glory days of my physical fitness when I was in much better shape, and I kind of want to have that like infantry level of cardio and strength, right? Like I've never wanted to be like a jacked bodybuilder. It's not something I'm really interested in. Never wanted to be like the biggest guy at the gym. Like, just I don't have any interest in that. It's no offense. Like, if that's what you want. I had friends like one of my good buddies, Corey, wasn't a very tall gentleman, but because he was picked on because of his height, he ended up becoming jacked, and the dude like was huge. And good for him. Like, obviously, it takes a lot of work and dedication. In fact, he actually competed in bodybuilding shows. Like, that's how big he was, and did okay. But yeah, that's never been my thing. Like, I just want to, be in shape. I don't need a six pack. Though I say that my wife's family said I'll never get a six pack. Her father specifically, and I've made it my kind of a mission to get one at least once. I don't need to maintain it just so I can chill him. But besides being spiteful, I don't need a six pack. I would just like to have like a toned body overall, not necessarily for aesthetics. Of course, everyone likes looking good, and I want to look good, but primarily I want to have it for the health, as well as I have a lot of activities like reenacting and the foul furs. Like, I want to, be able to fit into certain costumes. And no, this is not a shaming comment. You can wear whatever you like if you're comfortable wearing some things. But for me, I really like to portray the characters well. So I do an Imperial Officer right now, and you can imagine. I mean, I've seen it in the military. The occasional person that might not be frontline combat might not be the most physically fit. That's all I'm saying. No shade, it's just a thing. But yeah, like I've nothing against you if you want to portray. So please don't take offense to what I say. Like, but for me, I really like to look as close to the character that I can. So, there's many reasons to lose weight, but primarily health. And we started a workout routine, and so right now, luckily, it's fairly low impact. But it starts as we go out, and we do very long. Well, not super long, but we do, kind of faster pace walking for a great distance. And it's actually quite demanding if you live a, pretty sedentary or sedentary life where you don't, do anything. Like, yeah, I'm in IT and I'm up and down ladders, but like 90% of my day at work in a normal day during this school year is, in IT, up and down out of my desk probably a couple dozen times to help people coming in, but nothing like crazy physically demanding. And then I come home and I'm a gamer, and now I am a YouTuber. So, yeah, I don't have a huge amount of activity level, and that's why we wanted to fix that. So, being super busy with the work, coming home, and also wanting to be able to relax because super busy. Family came up for the visit. Oh, apparently I'm just throwing. Oh, it's gone. So it all added up to the DOJ hours being left to the last minute, which anytime you have any obligations, not recommended to do the last minute, but here's where we're at. So all this week we've been up super late. So when I first recorded this video, long story, instead of rambling on further about it and making more excuses, when I made the first cut of this video, it was awful. First, I was unable to kind of. Normally, I'm very good at multitasking, but I was unable to like multitask at all. I was like constantly interrupting my own statements, and like, yeah, it was terrible. So I was like, you know what? We're quantuming to Hurston. There's no real activity that's required. I don't need to be mentally focused for this. I'll just do the intro over. So there you go. But expect to see, long story short, long intro short, expect to see a at least one, if not a series of videos on my Saturday night gaming escapade. It's not that I want to milk it per se, kind of deal. Like, yes, if I can make use of the footage for more than one video, that'd be great. But I was playing for, well, I can even tell you. Just give me 1 second. I can pull up the video. See how long it is. So what day was Saturday? That was the 22nd. So from 6... Actually, after... yeah, there we go. So from 6:48... it was 7 hours and 10 minutes. So yeah, I expect to have at least a few videos. Man, those are weird. I think they've been added to make fun of the fact that the verse is so dirty. Anyway, yeah, I expect that to be made into a few videos because, of course, rather than having a 7-hour video condensed into a singular one, I can make it into a few different ones, and that'll help me get kind of back into the original plan of doing more pre-filming and then editing prior to upload rather than just dumping it. It'll also mean that these videos can be far more consistent at their upload date, and rather than me uploading them and then waiting for them to process and being standard first and then high, yada yada yada, all of it can kind of come together to have a culmination to be higher quality videos. Plus, there's some really good footage. Like, I did a lot of third party because we were in a Discord. I didn't need to be looking at the party chat a lot, so did a lot of third person views. Went through the pirate Idris. So if you did not get a chance to see the inside of the Xeno Threat Idris, and your only experience has been the inside of the kind of a tour one during Invictus, you'll get to see that. Also, not only the inside of the Xeno Threat Idris was quite interesting, because of course it had an entire change to the inside, like graffiti and stuff like that. But also, the exterior looks so much better than the one at Fleet Week. Like, I don't know why. So the military paint for the Idris looks really, really good. It's like that, kind of military gray color, like you'd think of navy gray color, with kind of darker gray and olive drab, or even kind of a slightly lighter tint of green, but basically navy gray, a slightly darker gray, and the army green essentially. And that looks really good. But the one they had at Invictus Week was kind of lackluster. It was this just flat gray, a little bit of accents, and then these blue highlights. And to be honest with you, I didn't think it looked that great. And it certainly wasn't the military paint scheme. I'm not sure why CIG elected to go with that one. At least it's not the paint scheme that we see in all of the cinematics for Squadron 42. Because they all have a very similar paint scheme to what you see with Javelin and stuff. But the one for Xeno Threat is actually a really nice paint scheme. So, and for those who are wondering, yes, I am literally going around and cleaning up the verse so we don't have any more of those weird creatures crawling around everywhere. Anyway, so the reason why we were at the Pyro Jumpgate and why we're wearing this uniform is that when my wife and I first went to do the Xeno Threat event, we got there, we were wearing our Hurston security armor, we took my Aegis Vanguard, Harbinger, and we went there. We accepted the mission, which kind of you fly to the Pyro Jumpgate. Special Agent Dooley from the Civilian Defense Force kind of contacts you and states that you know, we need you to go and start helping the I don't know, recovery efforts, I guess, for the supplies that are missing from the Javelin, and then you go out and you get the supplies, or you support those that are getting the supplies from, getting attacked, because not only there's NPCs, but some players were being kind of like, I don't want to use the word griefing, but they were helping Xeno Threat, even though that's not a feature yet. So not necessarily griefing, but it's kind of counter. Apparently my crime is glitched as far as a UI bug. So anyway, we then warped into the asteroid field, and before we could do anything, the ship, like I said, got hung up for like that 30 seconds to a minute. And then when we started flying, we actually went around a little bit and had some fun engaging, and then we ended up having to go back for rearm. So we went back, we landed, and we rearmed, and then when we went back, it did that glitch again, but except instead of us being stationary, which is ideal when it's not letting you do anything, for a minute there we were floating towards an asteroid, and not slowly. So when I finally regained control, it was right before the ship crashed. Like that timer ran out, and I was finally able to like kind of pull up, and all of a sudden we smashed into the asteroid and died. So I lost everything. So that's why I'm not wearing my Hurston security armor anymore. So then I was like, okay, well, I'll buy this set of armor, we'll go back out. And so I bought a pair of armor and then spawned a different ship and we went back out. And when we got back out, that one glitched in a different way. I can't quite remember, but that one we ended up dying. So then I was like, okay, F this. Not going to care anymore. There's an Idris flying around, I'll try to steal it. So I flew to the Idris. I actually shot it enough with the Redeemer, or whatever I was using for that run. Yeah, he used the Redeemer for that. So I was trying to shoot the back door of the Idris down. That's what happened. So we went out with the Redeemer after we'd blown up in the Vanguard. And we got to the back of the Idris, and I was like, okay, I'm just going to shoot it open and try to get inside. Well, when I tried to get inside, the ship kind of did this weird glitch. And then when I tried to get out of the seat, it kind of like... I was caught in the Idris's gravity well. And so my character... actually, because it has a higher gravity, I guess, than the inside of my Redeemer, it actually had my feet flip up towards the hangar, which was below us, and I got stuck ahead of the cockpit in the Redeemer gunship. And so I literally had to kill myself. So then I went back out and took... at that point, the Vanguard was ready. In fact, I'll probably take the Vanguard because I need to fly down. Yeah, let's take my hoplite, I guess, because I don't care about that. I need to fly down and grab my F7 down on the planet, or maybe use my Harbinger. Yeah, we'll just use my Harbinger and do some missions rather than go get the Hornet ship. So then I was like, okay, well, we'll take out the, Vanguard again. And so we tried to go in the Vanguard, and the Idris doors weren't open. So I started attacking it. Turns out it was actually still open, but there was two Idris, and I didn't notice. Because I was just tunnel vision and so excited. So I tried to get back in, got blown up. Went out one final time with something else. Like, I died probably 6 or 7 times. 3 of which were glitches. 3 of which were me trying to get into the Idris. So then, at that point, my wife was like, alright, I'm done. I can't do this anymore. And that was already during the battle phase, so she had unlocked the first part. And so did I, but we'd not done the second part yet. Which was that battle phase. We had to complete it. So I was like, okay, I'll just take my Gladius out and do it by myself, because my Hornet's on Hurston, rather than, like, claiming it. I'll just actually use what I have here, kind of, like, play the game as it would kind of be expected. Do I have... I do. Good. I just want to make sure I have my multi-tool. So I just fly my Gladius out. There's no enemies at that point. Like, because when I was en route, it had considered that we'd quote-unquote won. And so I got the credit for it. So I got to participate. And I did quite a bit of damage in the Redeemers, so I got quite a bit of money from it. But as I'm en route, the mission finishes. I'm like, okay, well, I'll just fly around the asteroid field for a bit until the mission starts back up, and then I can help out. So I'm flying out there, nowhere near an asteroid, nothing's going on, there's no carcass of a ship, like nothing at all. And all of a sudden, I just blow up randomly, like completely and utterly, as if I was like one-shotted by an Idris. But there was nobody around, and the ship didn't blow up. It was just like, you're dead. So I have no idea what happened. So at that point is when I was like, she had hopped off from frustration, and I can't say I blame her because I was very close. And at that point, I was super considering like just being like, no, I'm done. But I said to myself, no, let's stick on one more time. Let's try one more time. So I got on my Gladius, and I was flying around. And then that's when I was offered to come and help the Idris do its mission. And I am super thankful that, to myself, that I persevered and stuck it out, because as I alluded to, that was the single greatest night of gaming that I'd ever had. A great group of people, a lot of fun. We worked well together. They're Blue Nova PMC was a large group of them. So the pilot ended up actually wasn't a part of them, but joined them. But the bulk of the members were Blue Nova PMC. So if you want to see a semi, pretty they're not huge. They only have about 20 members or so. But if you want to be a part of a, group of, where the heck is the waypoint taking me? This is what I'm saying. Sometimes the map app, they're like, oh, it's new and improved. Like, is it? Is it? It looks nice, but I'd rather it just work. Yeah, like it's ridiculous. I can just work like this. And I get why they're doing like the back end server meshing and 3.24 tests, but my god, it's so silly when all this stuff happens. Like, it becomes quite frustrating. But anyway, today's video is kind of just give you an update. Try to yell over the super loud quantum travel unnecessarily. I don't know why it is that loud, but kind of give you an update, get involved, get back into the swing of things, chat, give you kind of like that, something to look forward to, not necessarily a sneak peek because I'm not showing anything, but something to look forward to with the Idris videos. Very, very cool. Plenty of footage, so I can use it for a lot of BE footage, as well as it will be a wonderful set of videos to kind of showcase. So give some of the high level play-by-play kind of stuff. So anyway, we're going to go to HDSF Tompkins, and hopefully they have a set of Hurston medium armor. And that would be quite nice. But if they don't, then I'll keep going until I get a set. Yeah, I'd never even seen those things before. If someone's seen those before and noticed them, let me know. I've never, ever seen those little weird things. I really like the Vanguard. In fact, it's one of my favorite ships. It's my favorite two-person for sure.
Landing gear deployed.
Fit down here. Yeah, should be able to. Boom. Remember, kids, power off your engines. I mean, I do look forward to the day when that's not necessary in terms of you will float away. I mean, it should always be done anyway because you don't want to waste hydrogen fuel. And eventually, for those who might not be aware, the ships will actually end up having a central like power core which will require fuel. That's what I wanted to do. Yeah, I wanted to open up that thing. Like, oh my god. Anyway, there will be some component in your ship that is your kind of main power core and will require fuel. So, if you have your engines running, even if it doesn't consume currently hydrogen fuel just to exist, it technically should, even if you're not moving. And maybe it does, but at a super like low rate. But yeah, eventually that won't be the case. You will have power consumption, so you might even want to power your ship fully down if nobody's going to be on board. Like a multi-crew ship, you had the Carrack, for example, and you had crew members on board, you'd leave it powered on. But if you're all going to get out, no reason why it can't be powered off. That is fantastic. Okay. Okay. I'm gonna die. Fascinating. Okay. I might be stuck down here, but let's complete the mission. Yay. Sometimes I don't even understand Thersis, and like it makes no sense. Never have I seen that the elevator goes like below grade. Now I noticed before that there's numbers, and you could theoretically have multiple tiers, and I look forward to the designers doing that with them because that allows for more, interesting locales. But all right, excellent. Anyway. I look forward to if they expand it out. Plus, also, it gives me hope kind of when the base building comes online and using something like this. Like, it'd be kind of cool if you, too, as a person, could create a outpost like this and have multiple levels. And you could designate, like, one for manufacturing, one for, whatever, right? So. Okay, let's see what we got here. That was a nice song. I've been in private property this whole time. But anyway. Alright, let's see. Least I can do is... Oh, that's convenient. I suppose I should probably check the pants too. Not looking good. I saw some security guards wearing clothing and lots of light Ninetales, I think there. Probably, if I look at the symbol, it doesn't have like 9 little. Yeah, it's a Ninetales. Maybe I'll give up 2 of those. Grab those. And get me this guy. This nice guy. Unless I find the medium armor set. There's the light one. But unless I see a medium, there's not much else to grab from this one. I don't like the light Hurston armor. The medium and the heavy look good. Alright. Now, the best part is I came down here hoping for equipment, and I don't even think I'm going to get any. And I could take the light armor, but I might as well just keep what I got. Wow. But yeah. So, going into next month, it's going to be ramping up pretty nicely. We've gotten into the kind of swing of things of our workout program. Today was actually a rest day, which was much needed. And in fact, I'll be going to bed here pretty shortly. So the search for Hurston armor might have to wait until next time. The remainder of the week is going to be catching up on some hours, with the exception of course, Friday we'll do our lovely Fallout stream. And then tomorrow may or may not have my upload of, the Throwaway Thursdays, because I am participating in a photo shoot for a movie being made for World War II. So as I said, reenactment. One of the members of our group has been working on a small film. It likely won't make anything other than potential local, like film festival kind of thing. Though, you know what? Maybe not. Like, I haven't seen it yet. He has a YouTube channel. It's quite a popular YouTube channel, so maybe it'll turn out to be something special. So we'll wait and see. But I have a very small, 10-second role where I'm a motorcycle messenger showing up to give the officer in the command tent their, kind of missive, and then I'm out. It's literally going to be about 10 seconds, which of course means, we'll be there for a few hours filming everything and setting things up. But yeah, it'll be fun. But if the weather's not great, because there's been some thunder showers today and calls for more of it tomorrow, we're going to push that back to next week. So if that gets pushed, I'll have the video tomorrow. If it doesn't, then you will see me Friday for the stream, and we'll continue on where we left off in the... I should remember the name. Ash... No. What was it? I can't recall. Now I gotta look it up. Fallout 76. Why is it like that hard for me to find this name? Skyline Valley. Apologies. But yes, we will continue with our exploration and questing. For those who were there last week, we were just entering into the vault that spawned these odd creatures that we're running across. So it should be interesting to see the story behind that. I literally have not played on purpose. I'm saving it just for the thing. As I've indicated, schedule's crazy busy anyway. Couldn't play it if I wanted to. But more importantly, I have a very busy schedule, so makes it quite a bit easier. Now, normally we get off at 45 minutes, which is in about 5 minutes, but let's see if we can bang out one more defense site right quick here, now that we're back. And see if we can't get that armor. So we got some contraband stash, which normally won't have it. And maybe once we'll kind of go through each of these missions to kind of talk a little bit about them. Because I haven't even done all the different types. Unless it's one for... I thought you get to pay them all. Anyway. Well, if one doesn't pop up here, then I guess we won't. Yeah, if we go to the rep, and the Civilian Defense Force got a bunch, so almost got veteran first responder due to the one there. And then, of course, my Crusader rep went up a little bit too, because we took the interest and actually did some bounty hunting in Crusader area. Hurston's enemies is my best. You get Xeno Threat if you accidentally shoot players, which is kind of funny. But yeah, doing quite well with that too. Almost got them up to 100. Still got to get my ranks up in them, but there we go. That's what I wanted. Where is it taking us? Miller End. Let's see. How is this going to work? Good. We'll see if we can quickly... See if we can quickly get this mission, get me a set of Hurston armor, and call it a day. Then I'll probably land back at Lorville, so I can... I might actually end up spawning all my ships back on Lorville. Because if they're doing Evocati tests for 3.24, which keep in mind is that rebrand of 323.2, I'll probably end up operating out of my hangar more often than I do now. Because now I tend to operate out of Everest Harbor just because it's far superior. There's no weapons that you can buy on Hurston. Limited selection of items. which totally fits the lore. I'm not complaining with that. But it's just more convenient to be in space. Plus, if you spawn on Hurston, you have to come from your hab, go down the elevator, go to the metro line, take it to the spaceport, and then go into your thing to be able to grab a ship and take off. Whereas it's far easier to get out of your hab, take one elevator down, and walk over to the landing spot on a space station. But with the new updates and the fact that you can kind of customize and decorate, I'll definitely be finding myself more often wanting to use my hangar. I feel like not everything's loaded in. I was going to say.
Landing gear deployed.
Let's see. Look good. Yeah, it's probably fine. How did I get so damaged? Oh, whatever. Yeah, servers aren't doing well.
Engines offline.
That was delayed. Right now, that is the. I mean, there are many issues in Star Citizen, and that's not to, crap on CIG, not even in the slightest. Star Citizen is my favorite game, bar none. Um, it's gorgeous, and when it works, it is the coolest, most uh, you know fun game that I've ever played, and it's certainly the most ambitious project I've ever seen. So let me preface it. But there's lots of issues with the game currently, and the primary one, in my opinion, is the server performance. The glitch where things hang is super, super damaging, not only to immersion, but also to, even if you don't care about the role play and feeling like you're living in this environment, you just play games for the sake of just having some sort of mental stimulation or distraction. Um, it's just not fun to play a game where it's hanging on your request, lagging, not functioning, getting you injured, killed, losing you items. So the servers and the server performance are the single worst things about Star Citizen currently, and I so look forward to when these server meshing tests get all worked out and we have actually a good working set of servers that support many concurrent players, because it will drastically change the public perception as well as the individual players of Star Citizen. Okay, so we got some heavy armor.
Guess I'll go take a look. I do everything round here.
You better look into this.
Good. Cool. That was close. Yeah. Start at the very top. Work our way through. Now, it might end up having to be the heavy armor, which not a bad thing. Telling me I only have one slot on the back for weapons. Fascinating. Well, I would definitely rather that than that. Or more practical. I didn't realize light armor can only wear the one weapon. Got a light armor. Okay. The heavy armor, yes. Not a bad thing. The heavy armor is obviously far superior at protecting the wearer, but I kind of prefer the look of the Apparently, the helmet's glitched. That's great. Goddamn helmet. Whatever. Let's get the helmet. So stupid. I don't understand. The servers are so garbage. I don't get it. Because for the longest time there, they were working very smooth. Didn't almost have any issues. In fact, up until 3.21 or 3.23.1a came out, like everything was fine. So I don't know. It is a struggle. Let's just say that's it. the LMG. Alright. So we did get a Hurston hammer after all. I really hope CIG can sort out the server issues. It is entirely possible that I just got into a dead/dying server that is struggling to sort itself out. But I sincerely still hope that they manage to sort out the server issues that, in my opinion, are, I don't know if I want to use inflammatory terms, but I feel strongly that it is plaguing the game at the moment. One thing that's kind of preventing it from breaking in properly in the mainstream, among others, like the wipes, are obviously detrimental to people's interest level to want to play, because it's the same reason some people don't like the seasons effect that you see on like naval actions like that. They don't want to get through everything, progress, and have it all be for naught. But yes, I sincerely hope that they can get these matters sorted out and resolved. Stock up the character and then get on out of here. So bunker missions are a great way, I'm sure you can tell, but a great way to kind of grab resources pretty quick. They don't require to come in with a lot of stuff, especially these assistant defending sites, because essentially the enemies, usually there's going to be at least 2 that are taken out by the local security force. It's unfortunate that the local security force themselves does not make it. Sometimes I manage to save them though. But yeah, there's usually at least 2 that get taken down when you're approaching the outpost, and it is, not the most. Oh, those are 2 bits. Not the most. Challenging missions. They can be. If the AI, like, if you're on a server that's working really well, the AI can definitely kick butt. Let's see, I think I already have greens. So I need gray and red. Like the this variant. That one. Not bad. See, it's pretty. Oh, I need probably has some ammo for me. That wouldn't hurt to grab. Yeah, it's pretty easy to get a decent amount of kit doing these missions. So. But yeah, we'll probably start our sign off there. So, thank you very much for watching. Please get involved in the comments if you have anything you have to say. Not only does it help with the metrics, but I sincerely want to improve the channel going forward. So, if there's any observations you've made, things you think I can do better, things that you liked and you want to see more of, anything to that effect, like my commentary, if you feel like there's things you want me to talk about more. Things from, do you want me to do lore videos? Do you want me to do more streams, less streams, you know? Get involved, and I think I'm going to steal the items on that. But yeah, get involved in the comments and let me know. Damn. I mean, but sure. Okay, I'm done. I was gonna steal the stuff off of it, but we'll deal. So, thank you very much for tuning in. Look forward to seeing you in the next one, and get involved in the comment section. Peace.